When I first walked out of this film, I thought it was fine. That's much of the way I felt throughout. I enjoyed it, but this was hardly The Social Network or The Wolf of Wall Street. But it has just continued to grow in my mind, and I really appreciate how understated it was in its delivery. The film is a sports drama based on true events about the origin of Air Jordan, a basketball shoe line of which a Nike employee seeks to strike a business deal with rookie player Michael Jordan. Obviously, we all know Nike now and how big of a star Michael Jordan turned out to be, but back in the mid-80s, Nike was not as popular as Adidas or Converse, especially for basketball shoes. Their sporting division was quite small and they were mostly known for running shoes. The film tells its story tightly and succinctly. Ben Affleck knew exactly what he wanted to do with this film, and he pulled it off perfectly. It's meticulously edited and structured. There's not a bit of fat to be trimmed. It's safe to say, if it wasn't for the cast, this film would be a lot less entertaining, but they managed to make even the most mundane moments engaging. Matt Damon was perfect for this role. He embodies the character's mood and physicality effortlessly. His chemistry with Jason Bateman is palpable. Bateman turns in a very natural performance. Ben Affleck is fun in his role, and so is Chris Tucker. Viola Davis is a real scene stealer here. If it wasn't for Ben Affleck's focus behind the camera, this could have easily been a fairly average movie. He was the perfect director for this project. It's paced perfectly, it makes perfect use of its 112-minute runtime. The 80s are recreated perfectly. I know that I keep using the word perfect, but it really does feel that way. This film totally succeeded at what it was trying to do. And it's not in your face. Once again, it's understated. You simply feel like it's the 80s. The color grading, the grain on the image, the cars, the clothes, and the music. The soundtrack is very good. The one thing that I did find slightly odd about this movie is the actual lack of Michael Jordan, the choice not to cast someone as Michael Jordan. When there are scenes where he has to be there, they kind of just avoid showing him, and I guess you could say that speaks to his disinterest to be in these Nike meetings, but also it just kind of felt like, slightly awkward at times. I mean, I understand the decision. It would be kind of distracting to have Michael Jordan there because it's like we all know what he looks like, we all know what he is like, and I think that they just wanted the film to feel so much like a real fact-based biographical drama that they didn't want that to be kind of distracting, but on the same sort of wavelength, it is slightly distracting for them to be avoiding showing him when he's there in a scene. It's kind of a minor nitpick because it doesn't really affect many scenes, but I just thought I'd mention maybe that was my one thing. I suppose I can't really use the word perfect now, can I? Well, there's no such thing as a perfect film. So the point is that this film succeeded in exactly what it set out to do. That's what I mean. It's funny. I reckon if this film came out about 4 or 5 years ago, I would have thought it was probably kind of drab and boring. And I know some audiences feel that way. It doesn't have any grand, cliche, cinematic, Oscar baity moments, but that's what I like about it. It's just a natural, true story told in a way that lets that story simply speak for itself. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Maybe I'm just starting to like dad movies more. Maybe that's where my taste is heading.